Mark. Winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Frankie Lane here from Lane's Yardware in Williston. Spring is here and the state of your yard is not up for debate. The grass and weeds are going to try and take over, but the experts at Lane's Yardware aren't afraid to lead you in this battle. Your first line of attack is a new, powerful, American-made Gravely zero-turn mower with no tariffs attached. Come see us at Lane's Yardware, located on Main Street in Williston and on the web at lanesyardware.com. Keep it America great, 1 yard at a time.
Get ready, Gainesville! Gainesville Harley-Davidson is celebrating 33 years with a Neon Nights Birthday Bash Bike Night, Friday, March 20th, 5 to 8 p.m. Food trucks, live DJ, contests, and more. Think you've got what it takes? Burnout winner scores a free tire, and the best custom mod takes home a trophy and bragging rights. Proceeds benefits Stop Children's Cancer. Bring your crew March 20th. Gainesville Harley's Neon Night Birthday Bash Bike Night. Visit GainesvilleHarley.com to learn more.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. Hoop, there it is.
Bland tees up a three. Good from the left angle. High lob to Connon above the foul line. Alley-oop dunk on a give the house. Over to Bland, wing left for three. Good. Boogie needed that.
Your weekly look at Gator basketball and the biggest stories from around the college hardwood.
Pull up for three. Good from the top. Lob shot, top of the arc. Down the lane. Lob for the rim. Alley-oop dunk. Foot race to the other end. Lead to the rack. Two-hand dunk for Xavier Lee.
Hoop There It Is presented by Titan MRI and Imaging, your independent premier MRI facility in Gainesville and Lake City. By Silverback Concrete, you stand on it, we stand by it. And by Meldon Law, the only official injury and accident law firm of the Florida Gators.
This place is going nuts.
And brought to you in part by Quality Plumbing, International Diamond Center, Castaway Hot Sauce, Coke Zero, Crystal Air and Water, the UF Bookstore, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Chick-fil-A Archer Road, Campus USA Credit Union, and by Miapa Latin Cafe.
Alongside ESPN college basketball analyst Mark Wise, here's Steve Russell.
Welcome into another edition of A Hoop. There it is, but now we are really into the teeth of things. It's going to be a fun show today. We have a new producer today. I'm going to let him introduce himself because, A, he's here during spring break, right? And that in and of itself, he deserves kudos. Yeah, so.
Hey, guys, happy to be here. Steve, always a joy to produce your guys' show, but always happy to be here and stay during the breaks.
Tell them who you are.
My name's Michael. Michael Tubbs. You might recognize my voice from the Sports Lab.
There you go. All right, Michael. I just want to give you a
double duty, double dipping. I love it.
Yeah, want to give him a shout out for doing that. Yeah, I did that, Kevin. I want to give a little
As a matter of fact, he wrote a book on it, I think. Double dipping by Steve Russell.
Yes. All right. On that note.
Yeah, we've got brackets. We've got games. Wow, what a wild champ week it was. I talked about Lehigh and the Patriot League last week and the fact that they had to survive their 2-10 game by making a shot at midcourt. Now, the score was tied, but they won the game on a buzzer beater at midcourt. Then Navy gets upset, who had a great year. And then Lehigh wins the Patriot, and here they are, and they may play the Gators in the first round if they survive. Is that Wednesday night? I'm a little confused. Florida plays on Friday. So, yeah, it's a Wednesday night game that they'll play Prairie View.
Any gripes, concerns with the bracket?
Well, I think Vanderbilt was underseeded. I could have lived with them on the 4 line, and they may have ended up in Florida's regional anyway. That's a little bit nitpicky. The thing that cannot happen, in my view, is what happened to Arkansas winning the SEC tournament on Sunday, and then they get sent to Portland, but they're playing on Thursday midday. So, man, that's just a tough ask, and we have bracketing principles, but I think they have to be married to the TV principles. So, the bracket is handed to television, and television then starts choosing. Well, I have problems with both. I mean, I don't like the fact that they were bracketed to a Thursday game. And if they are bracketed, it can't be helped, then they have to play a late game.
Right.
Wherever they're sent, they have to play a late game. It can't be 4:25, which I think is 1:25 local time. So, you don't leave Nashville until after the selection show. So they're not getting back to Fayetteville until 11 o'clock midnight last night. And they've got to be on their way to Portland tomorrow. So that's a tough ask.
That is a tough ask. All right. As we always do, if you have any Facebook Live questions, Michael will get them to us, courtesy of the UF Bookstore. Any YouTube questions brought to you by Ruse-Ogre State Farm. You can call us on the Campus USA phone line, 392-8255. Let's get a couple of emails here. But let's do, first of all, Gator Game Recap, brought to you by Holiday Inn University Center. If you're looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville, Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center steps away from the swamp, the closest hotel to UF. Whether it's game day, graduation, or a Gator getaway, make your stay extraordinary. At Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center, go online for more details and booking. It's amazing when you look at social media. It just is.
I try to stay off.
Well, I do too, but it was just like Florida should never lose. If they played the Oklahoma City Thunder, they shouldn't lose.
Right.
How about giving credit sometimes to the other team? Vandy was terrific.
Well, but before we even talk about Vandy, and they were terrific, I didn't think Florida played well in the Kentucky game either.
Right.
So the three-point shooting that we've talked about ad nauseum certainly has gotten better month by month by month, and it's the first time it reared its ugly head back on Florida. And it wasn't just the Vanderbilt game, it was the Kentucky game as well. So when you take a look at some of the numbers in terms of their three-point shooting, Houck was 1 for 9, Flam was 2 for 8, Klapchar only took 4, 1 for 4. Brown off the bench is 0 for 6. Now Lee 3 for 8, that's solid. But you cannot survive, I've said this all season long, you cannot survive in the NCAA tournament with a negative double-figure three-point differential. And against Vanderbilt, it was minus 15. It's just really hard to overcome. Vanderbilt did some things physically, I thought, that kind of frustrated Florida. I didn't think they got quality looks. But I'm giving that credit to Vanderbilt. And why did Vanderbilt lose to Arkansas on Sunday when Arkansas went on that late 12-0 run? Because Arkansas made threes. Because Arkansas has a guy by the name of Darius Acuff who can create his own look. But Brazil, I mean, he knocked down 3 or 4 three balls. I mean, Florida didn't have anybody to knock down shots. March conference tournaments, the NCAA tournament, the NIT tournament, the CBI, which canceled their tournament for some reason. These tournaments in March are about guard play and shot making. And when you don't make shots, man, you are asking for trouble.
All right. Let's do our Quality Play of the Week, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. We need a quality plumber. Rely on the same company Gainesville's trusted since 1984. Quality Plumbing, their name says it all.
You know, when you look at the bracket and you look at this 13 seed Cal Baptist, who is going to the NCAA tournament for the very first time in school history. They play Kansas in the opening round. I want you to think back to this. They're in the championship game against Utah Valley, and with 3 seconds to go, Utah Valley, down 2, had a perfectly executed alley-oop lob play to the big, and he misses the dunk. I mean, just missed it. And as a consequence, Cal Baptist is in the NCAA tournament, which kind of goes back to the thing that I've said all along. The difference between 6th in the country and 26th is one possession. The difference between 26 and 66 is one possession. The difference between being in the NCAA tournament and being out of the tournament at times, one possession.
Yep. Coach of the Week brought to you by International Diamond Center. Don't settle for a knockoff diamond. You can get the best diamonds at the best prices for quality, selection, and value. International Diamond Center is the official jeweler of the Florida Gators.
Another team going to their first NCAA tournament is Queens out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
First time they're eligible, right?
First year of eligibility.
Yeah.
Grant Leonard, and on that staff is young Bobby Hordowski. So people will recognize that name from Bob Hordowski and Buchholz fame. So a little local flavor, but congratulations to that staff. Queens is moving on. I had them in the non-conference at Auburn in a game that they got beat by one of those bye games. You got beat by 25 or something. But, again, they're moving on from the A-Sun.
Okay, some emails here. Mark. While the Gator sample size is small against Vandy, in the 2 games, Vandy's put up 92.5 points a game.
Right.
53% field goal shooting, 42% from the arc. Forgetting about what Vandy's done to other teams, what specifically makes it difficult for a talented Gators defense to slow them down offensively?
I think there's a couple of things. One is their half-court execution has been on point, their ball movement, their body movement, and they've got 2 guys that give everybody problems. The quickness of Tanner and Miles is elite on both ends of the floor. So they present some problems for the Gator backcourt on both ends of the floor, where most teams in the SEC this year only present some problems on one end or the other.
Daryl, who's the better matchup for Florida, Lehigh or Prairie View? And if we make it to Sunday, Iowa or Clemson?
Well, let's just bypass the 1:16 game. Florida will be in the Sunday game at some point in time. Iowa and Clemson, I spent some time looking at this morning. Obviously, teams very similar in their style of play. One team averages 74 points a game. The other one averages 75. They like to grind out possessions. They will run. I don't mean that. But they want to play in a certain way. Iowa is a team that has the better score, and Bennett Sturtz averages 20 points a game, so he's always a threat, legit three-point shooter. A lot of people have him in the first round of the upcoming draft. And then for Clemson, it's more of a group effort. They're a bigger team. They're a bigger front court team that would probably match up better with Florida than Iowa will. Iowa's a gang rebounding team. The name that some Florida fans may remember for Clemson is R.J. Godfrey. He's their leading scorer. He was a big at Georgia. So, and I think he's a boomerang guy. I think he started at Clemson, went to Georgia, and is back at Clemson. So I don't know that it matters. I got asked that earlier today. I don't know, because they're similar in their style of play, I don't know that it matters who Florida gets.
I like the boomerang guy.
Yeah, the boomerang. Well, Michie Johnson has the title. He's wearing the crown of the boomerang king because he started at Ohio State, went to South Carolina, went back to Ohio State, and finished at South Carolina.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah. All right, let's go to our Campus USA phone line. Bernard, hello.
Hey, man. Hey, Ma, that make him a double boomerang, wouldn't it?
Yes. Trust me, he is a double boomerang.
Hey, the game, man, sometimes the shots are not falling, but Florida's starting their offense at the circle with Conda. With these turnovers, he's serving them up like he works at Waffle House. Did they run the offense through Condon last year, or did they run it through another player?
No, they ran the offense through Walter Clayton Jr. last year. So it's a little bit different look. Now, what they've quit doing is they've quit letting the ball stick. Remember, I talked about this. When Condon's at the high post, they love that action, but he's become a rotator, not an option. In the non-conference, he was shooting that shot because nobody was guarding him. But he's had a bad shooting year. End of story. So he's no longer a shooting option in that high-low set that they like to run. And if you're not a shooting option, then nobody's going to guard you. Then the defender is back in the paint, and that mucks up the high-low look. So instead of getting a lot of stuff out of the high-low in conference play, he became a rotator. The ball moved from one side of the floor quickly, and they played great offense until they got to Nashville and Bridgestone Arena.
So that makes it difficult. I guess what I'm hearing you saying, that's dropping back, so it makes it difficult for him to make that entry pass to a teammate that's closer to the
Correct.
basket.
They basically have eliminated the high-low Condon to Chinulu look, and people are fronting Chinulu, so they're just kind of running out of room down there. So that's the reason why he's become a rotator at the top of the key.
So if they're backing off, and wouldn't it be his best bet is to take a couple of steps toward the basket and maybe get a higher percentage shot? I don't. You tell me.
Yeah, he's not comfortable shooting at the free throw line, and anything below that, then he's got to create a long way off the bounce. He's playing really well. He played well the other day. Again, with the exception of the turnovers, but he wasn't the only one that had turnover issues. So if there's two things, I talk about great guard play. And guard play for Florida means Condon on the offensive end because the ball's in his hands a lot. You must shoot the ball well, and you cannot turn it over, and they did both those poorly in the SEC tournament.
Mark, don't you think the second-round game between the Clemson Iowa winner has a chance to be a little scary for Florida? I think that game may be closer than a lot of people think. We got 4 teams from Florida in, and I think Arizona is going to be the one standing at the end. You take care, okay?
All right, thank you. Let's go to Bill. Hi, Bill.
Hey, Steve and Mark, appreciate you guys being on. Obviously, I thought Florida may have peaked too early, but now they've would you consider these last 2 games as kind of a wake-up call for Florida? And if that's true, even if, you're not confident in three-point shot, how as a coach, and Todd Golden's probably good, but when you were a coach, Mark, how would you kind of, resurrect or make sure the ship is still sailing and not get too down about these 2-3 games? Actually.
Yeah, I don't know about peaking. There's so much argument going on about do you want to win your conference tournament? Florida certainly has had success as they did last year doing that and winning the NCAA tournament. There's also plenty of examples of teams that went long in their conference tournament and short in the NCAA tournament. So I can see the argument both ways. In terms of, is this a wake-up call? I don't think so. If I'm Todd Golden, I am much more concerned about the turnovers than I am missing shots. Why do I say that? If you get a shot up on goal, chances are pretty good Florida might get it. They're getting some ridiculous 40+% of offensive rebounds. That is a big number. You just cannot turn the ball over because the turnovers make your defense stink. Now think about that. Every turnover you have in any kind of live ball situation, whether it's a pick six or it's just a turnover, your defense stinks as a result.
And you know the stat that nobody's talking about here in this game? Florida out-rebounded Vanderbilt by 15.
Right.
15.
Yeah, they just couldn't overcome turnovers
right,
and poor shooting.
Right.
Florida has proven they can overcome poor shooting. But when you throw in the turnovers in there, that's a bad combination.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's where I would focus. I would focus practice. I'm not worried about the shooting. The shooting's been fine January, February, March. Especially it kept getting better and better. So I'd blame the shooting on Bridgestone Arena. Bad lighting. Move on. Yeah.
Golden always said that, if you keep your turnovers under 10, then you had a pretty good shot.
Yep.
Over 10, he was not happy.
Yeah, well, he wasn't happy with either game, I promise you.
All right.
I'm sure.
Thank you, Bill.
guys.
Appreciate your call.
Thank you.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. Much more hoop. There it is to come as you listen on WRUF.
The commitment from IDC to first responders is really extraordinary.
Veteran firefighter Johnny Hinton talks about International Diamond Center's ongoing support for our heroes in uniform.
IDC has helped us raise just massive amounts of money.
Johnny says in addition to corporate gifts to support charity fundraisers, IDC is there every day, helping first responders with an extra 15% discount on any purchase.
Again, thank you guys so much.
International Diamond Center at Celebration Point.
It's no fun being injured. The last thing you want to deal with is long wait times or high costs. Well, guess what? You don't have to thanks to Titan MRI and Imaging. The experience at Titan MRI and Imaging is much more personal than a sterile atmosphere of a hospital. Joe and his team are personally involved and will guide you through the entire process at any of their 3 convenient locations. And they accept insurance. So if you need a scan, save time and money and call Titan MRI and Imaging. Learn more at TitanMRI.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
It's tip-off time, Alachua County. The gym is alive, the crowd is loud, and basketball season is heating up. From fast breaks to buzzer beaters, basketball brings the passion, teamwork, and pride that unite our community. Whether you're on the court or cheering from the stands, Coke Florida, your local Coca-Cola bottler, is proud to support the moments that bring Alachua County together. Brought to you by Coke Florida, refreshing Florida fans. Here's to a winning season on and off the court. Let's go!
Craving real Cuban flavor? Come to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings you home. From our juicy roast chicken with yellow rice and black beans, our breakfast options to sweet plantains, empanadas, and our iconic Cuban cafecito, we've got what your taste buds are waiting for. And with 6 locations, there's sure to be one near you serving up warm hospitality and authentic breakfast, lunch, or dinner vibes whenever hunger strikes. So head over to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami. Visit miapalatincafe.com or stop by your nearest location today.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
The NCAA tournament is coming to WRUF this March.
Silverback Concrete is a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists built from concrete and steel, precision and grit. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back.
Welcome back to Hoop. There it is. Don't forget, Facebook Live questions. Michael gets them to us, courtesy of the UF Bookstore. YouTube questions by Ruzover State Farm Insurance. And, of course, the Campus USA phone line, 392-8255. BB says, I know we say basketball season's a journey. Friday during the trip, the kids kept yelling, are we there yet? And then Saturday we had 3 flat tires and the radiator hose blew out as the flashy Vandy sports car roared past us. So Mark, despite giving them ice cream and beer, the now crying Gator kids want to know, is the garage going to be able to fix things this week, or are we going to be waiting on parts until next year?
Again, everybody starts anew tomorrow night actually with the first 4 games in Dayton. Now, Dayton, by the way, for the second straight years in the NIT and can't play at home. They're a higher-seeded team and can't play at home because of the NCAA tournament. So they're on the road. I think I remember this. I think Dayton has to play at Bradley, even though Dayton is the seeded team in the NIT.
Patrick, Mark, do you remember when we played Duke?
Very good.
In the semi, do we put Boogie on Boozer at the top of the key and let him steal the ball?
No. Yeah, that's a no-win situation. There's nobody to put on Boozer. He when I saw him play the first 3 times, I kept going, I don't get it. Here's a guy that's 6'10" that basically plays below the rim. And I just don't see how it translates to the next level. And every time I've seen him since, I get more and more impressed. I mean, he's He's going to make it. He's going to make it because everybody all the big front lines that he ended up playing against this year, I mean, it was no issue.
Nope. Let's get some YouTube questions, courtesy of Rules Over State Farm Insurance. Neo, has Florida peaked too soon?
Oh, my gosh. Well, did you ask that question a week ago? I mean, here's what is amazing to me, and I'll use my own son as a point to be made. My own son coaches Sanford's women's team in the SoCon. They went 6-8 his first year. They were started off 1-6. They finished the league 6-8, and then went through the SoCon tournament and won 3 games in 3 days. And the difference that those 3 days have made for him, the program, the exposure. I mean, they're the same team they were a week ago. Okay, but now it's completely different. Well, the same thing with Florida and the way they played in Bridgestone. They just played poorly, period, both games.
And then flip this around, MJ, is Florida's loss to Vanderbilt a blessing in disguise?
No, I don't think. I'd be more concerned if they get Vanderbilt in the Sweet 16. I'd be very concerned if I were Todd Golden, because the 2 games Florida won in Nashville by 4 and then got waxed in Nashville on the return visit. So maybe the key will be getting to play Vanderbilt outside of the city of Nashville. Maybe that will help. And if you get past them, then maybe you'll have to play Houston in the city of Houston, which won't be any fun either.
No. Campus USA phone line, Mike, hello.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, I got 2 things. We're home, basically home court in the first couple games.
Yep.
But is it the second venue more important because you're basically playing mostly better teams?
Well, it's an interesting question, but I'll answer it this way: you can't get to the second venue unless you survive the first venue. So yes, Florida playing in Tampa is a huge advantage for Florida, no question about it. But don't worry about the second weekend until you get there, because Houston may not get there. Now, we think they will. Yeah, we think they will. Well, it's not their home court, but I get the point.
Yeah, and the second thing, I was watching the other day, the selection show, and they were trying to decide who had the worst and the best draw. And when I took the 4 seeds, or the 1 through 4 seeds in the brackets, and dropped the number 1 because it doesn't really matter, and add up the overall tournament seed number from the rest of them, Duke had the hardest route to the Final Four.
Correct.
Florida had the second hardest route.
Correct.
And Arizona had the easiest route.
Yeah, they call that regional balance or something, and if that is a skew too far, then they will move teams around to help that balance out. That is very much part of the bracketing principles. Here, I think I heard Billis say this last night. There are some easier draws, but there are no easy draws. Right. And I concur with that wholeheartedly. If you think a team has an easier draw than somebody else, okay, but it's not an easy path to get to the second weekend for anybody. It's not an easy path to get to the Final Four and so on.
Maybe the mid teams, the 6, 7, and 8, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are a little bit tougher for Arizona than they are for us and Duke, but I don't know. I didn't go into that far.
Yeah, I don't. But, you know what? As long as the brackets are basically balanced, I don't worry about that.
All right, Mark.
Well, tell Mary I said hello. I haven't seen y'all since Queen of Peace years ago.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Mike. Thank you. Let's do our hottest team of the week, brought to you by Castaway Sauce Company. Hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. It's available at your local Publix, or you can go to CastawaySauceCompany.com. Hottest team of the week.
Because Miami of Ohio had this fabulous regular season, they get upset in the first game that they played in the MAC championship by Frank Martin's team, UMass. Akron goes ahead and wins that tournament. They go back to the NCAA tournament. John Gross is a wonderful head coach. They may be the quietest 29-5 team in the country. I mean, have you heard anybody talk about Akron all year? They're 29-5. They've won 10 in a row. They'll be a popular upset pick this week in the first round.
Games to watch brought to you by Coke Zero. The new and improved recipe tastes like real Coca-Cola with 0 sugar and 0 calories.
Well, let's start tomorrow night. I think the NC State-Texas game is going to be interesting to watch in terms of Will Wade and Sean Miller. Can Texas make enough shots to win there? Also tomorrow night, while you're channel flipping on the U, 9 o'clock Eastern, Stephen F. Austin will play at Tulsa in the NIT. I'm not telling you why. On Wednesday, there are more games in play-in and the NIT. And then on Thursday, some games that caught my attention. Vandy and McNeese. I had McNeese in the Southland Conference Tournament Championship. They won that for the third consecutive year, actually. Going to the NCAA tournament again. Remember, they beat Clemson a year ago in the 12-5 game. They're back in the 12-5 game again with Vanderbilt. I just don't think they can beat Vandy. I think they'll be a popular choice, but nonetheless, I've already mentioned Arkansas playing a Hawaii team basically halfway to Hawaii. And then Georgia and St. Louis. To me, I think that's going to be a really interesting game. There's a lot of offense in that game. Defense will be optional, but I'm looking at that. And then on the Friday games that jumped out at me, Texas Tech and Akron. I just think, and I don't like teams that are damaged goods. No JT Toppin. Will Christian Anderson play or not for Tech? And if he does, how effective can he be? And the other game that I really like is the 7-10 Miami-Missouri game. Missouri is kind of Mark Mitchell driven, and he'll have to play well. Miami, has been a real surprise in terms of their season for first-year head coach Jay Lucas. So that's an interesting game. And then Saturday and Sunday, you start the second round games.
Let's get to Greg. Greg, hello.
Yeah, I was wondering about this home court. I don't know what the rulings are anymore. I remember back in the late 80s, Purdue had to play freaking Memphis on their home court during the tournament. Now, I know I don't think they can play at the college courts, but they certainly play in the same city, right? I mean, like
it depends.
Nashville and
it depends on who the host institution is for that regional. Even if you're in the same city, if you're the host team, and what makes this kind of, and I don't know the details, so I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all, but Houston, Rice took over at some point in time the hosting duties for the regional in Houston. That's what allows Houston to play in their home city. It will not, it's the Toyota Center, so it's not where they play. They play in the Fertitta Center. So it's not their home court, but yes, that's kind of how that evolves. I will tell you this, we went to the Final Four in Purdue in 1980 when we didn't have restrictions. We played the first and second round as the 6th seed in Mackey Arena, and St. John's had to come, Louis Carna second, they had to come to us, and we waxed them in Mackey in the second round. That was not right. But I went to the Final Four because of it.
I don't like it at all when you get that kind of advantage. I mean, the tournament is so excellent. Why allow that?
Well,
why not make it so everybody?
Here's what I will remind you. Houston is not in the regional final yet. And they will have to get through a really, really good offensive team in Illinois. So I don't worry about that until you get there. And guess what? Florida's not in that game either.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Greg,
I just hate to see that happen to Florida.
I'm with you.
All right, Greg, thank you for your call. We'll take a break, come back. More Hoop There It Is to come as you listen on WRUF.
For the first time ever in a public setting outside the Heisman Trophy ceremony in New York City, 3 legends are coming to Gainesville. Join Steve Spurrier, Daniel Werfel, and Tim Tebow together with their Heisman trophies for the Legends Gala at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill on Monday, March 30th. Enjoy an unforgettable night of Gator greatness while supporting the incredible mission of Isaiah 117 House. Tickets are limited. Get yours now at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com. Don't miss your chance to be a part of Gator history.
March is here. It's time to go big with a new 4K TV or projector from Electronics World, so you can catch every slam dunk, three-pointer, and buzzer beater. Electronics World has the best names in the business: LG, Samsung, and Sony, with Ultra HD TVs up to 100 inches. Or let the pros at EW design a system with a 4K projector and custom-installed screen. Add a surround sound system so you can feel like you're at mid-court. Visit Electronics World in Gainesville today or online at electronicsworld.net.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF Bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida Bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida Bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
Nope, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Why did the Chick-fil-A cross Archer Road? So you don't have to. Chick-fil-A now has the pleasure to serve you from both sides of Archer Road. Both locations include drive-through and carry-out options, or dine in at the Chick-fil-A on the north side of Archer Road. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, we're open at 6 a.m. with drive-through open until 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Chick-fil-A also caters. We'll bring our original chicken sandwich, delicious dipping sauces, and famous Chick-fil-A lemonade to you. Chick-fil-A. Eat more chicken.
Sure, seasons change, and that's more than the pollen on your car and everything else right now. Seasons in your life change too, and for over 90 years of seasons, Campus USA Credit Union has been here for you. As your life and financial needs change, Campus USA Credit Union can help. Checking and savings accounts, low-interest credit cards, personal loans or home equity loans, business loans, auto loans, and investments. Campus USA Credit Union. There's a location or ATM near you. CampusCU.com. Member NCUA.
Looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville? Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center is just steps from the Swamp, the closest hotel to UF. With 6 stylish floors of brand new everything, we've been completely renovated and fully remodeled for your comfort. Enjoy the best guest services in town, competitive rates, and a location you just can't beat. And don't forget about our rooftop pool. Whether it's game day, graduation, or a Gator getaway, make your stay extraordinary at Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center. Visit us online today for details and booking.
Think your season's over? Let's turn your off-season back on. Hoops is heating up on Hard Rock Bet, Florida's only legal way to bet the NBA. So you can bet on teams, star players, and more. With games practically every day, there's always something to parlay. Roll with Hard Rock Bet all NBA season. New users get paid double winnings on your first 10 bets.
Max bet of $50 per bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
3 seconds at midcourt. Jenkins gives it to Jenkins for the championship. The national champions.
Coverage of round 1 of the NCAA tournament begins Thursday at noon on WRUF.
At Titan MRI and Imaging, you'll visit the only locally owned and operated MRI imaging center in town. Start feeling better today. It's your choice. TitanMRI.com.
Welcome back to Hoop. There it is, man. We are up against it. We got a lot to get through here in a short amount of time. So let's do our Baller of the Week, brought to you by Electronics World, integration and design specialist for smart home automation and entertainment. Let Electronics World bring the Florida Gator basketball, baseball, softball, and the NBA to your living room. You can find out more at electronicsworld.com.
I'm going to work backwards here because the Baller of the Week is going to be Jaden Bradley of Arizona, who made the buzzer-beating winning shot against Arizona State in the semifinals of the Big 12. But here's the point I want to make. It was the best last 5 minutes of any game I have seen all season long. The two teams in the last 5 minutes combined to make 10 of 12 shots. So that sounds pretty good, right? 7 of the 10 were three-point shots.
Wow.
It was Rocky Balboa and Apollo Creed in the middle of the ring, landing haymaker after it was fabulous. It was such high-level stuff.
Top 4 teams brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A on both sides of Archer Road. Enjoy juicy chicken, waffle fries, and more. Eat more chicken at Chick-fil-A.
Well, I'm going to swap up just a little bit. Duke still on top. I'm going to move Arizona to 2 because Michigan lost to Purdue in the championship game of the Big Ten. So a small ding. And then take your choice as the 4 seed. I think Houston's loss to Arizona is a little bit better than Florida's loss to Vandy. Not by much, but I've got Florida and Houston in a 2-way tie for 4th.
I watched a lot of that Purdue game.
Yeah. Oh, they were good. How about Braden Smith? I think he just got another assist. I think he's 1 away from tying the record, 2 away from breaking the all-time assist record.
Yeah, and what were they, a 7 seed, right? And they won that?
Yeah, they didn't win it from the top 4. No,
I think they were 7.
No.
Okay.
But man, did they play well?
Yes, they did.
I think they had, if I remember right, they had 20 assists in the game and 2 turnovers.
Wow.
That will win you some hoop games.
That will win you some games.
That'll keep you up at the rec league.
Yeah, that will.
If you don't turn the ball over, you'll never have to worry about sitting out a game.
YouTube questions brought to you by Resorga State Farm. Greg, could the 9:30 start time affect how we play?
No. And here's the other thing. It will not be 9:30. I don't know what time that game will start, but I promise you it will not start at 9:25.
In other words, it ain't going to be earlier.
It's not going to be earlier. I mean, the CBS timeouts are, I don't know, they're 3.5 minutes where I think the regular season is 2.5 minutes. I'm not being facetious here. So these are longer games in the NCAA tournament, and it figures that Iowa-Clemson will play a close game in the preceding game.
Facebook Live questions brought to you by the UF Bookstore. John, is Houston the most dangerous 2nd seed?
Wow. I think, you know what? I hadn't thought about that one. Purdue is a hot team, but I would put Houston above them. Iowa State, sometimes Iowa State and Houston would be right there together. I think I'm not a big UConn fan of the way they're playing. I think UCLA may have a shot at them if they get past UCF. Well, by the way, congratulations to Johnny Dawkins, a former coach of the week here on this show. Mm-hmm. So back in the NCAA tournament when no one expected it. I just think UConn, because of their inconsistency, they've won a lot of close games down the stretch. St. John's waxed them in the finals of the Big East. They probably are the most vulnerable 2 seed.
Okay, we got to really run through these here. Facebook Live questions, courtesy of the UF Bookstore. Also, Seth, are the Gators able to overcome being down early?
I mean, they were. Yes, I mean the way they play, they're kind of streaky offensively. Yeah.
YouTube DRM, FSU declined NIT invite. Any reason?
I don't know, but let me do this. I want to give big time props to Stephen Pearl and Auburn for playing in the NIT. I think it would have been easy with all the controversy about Auburn, Bruce Pearl, and what he said about Miami. And I think it'd been easy to take your ball and go home. So a lot of props to the Tigers for playing in the NIT.
Woody, any objection to Houston being put in the region when they get an Elite 8 home game? We talked about that.
Well, again, that had to – you'd have to understand the bracketing principles. Houston, that was the only spot to put them because of all the other things. They didn't just go, let's place Houston in Houston.
Jason's got the toughest path to the championship.
Well, the numbers say Duke does.
Yeah. All right, we got more here. Facebook Live, Andy, why do you think there's not a lot of talk about St. John's?
That's a really good question. Under the radar a little bit, challenged offensively at times. Probably a little underseeded in the 5 game. Kansas is so inconsistent. I definitely will have St. John's coming out of that mini pod.
Okay, let's go to our phone line. Hello.
Hey, Steve, Mark Wise. Thanks for taking my call. It's I wanted to. I noticed the officiating was really bad, and I'm not talking about our game in particular, but I thought the SEC, the officiating was really, really bad. And is there a burden on officials just because everything's going on at one time? In other words, do you not have your A group of officials out there more, or is it just coincidental?
Why do you think the officiating was bad? First of all.
Well, there was just a lot of bad calls. It's easy to point. If you look, I watched more of our game, but it wasn't just our games.
Yeah.
It was calls in the Georgia game, calls in,
right.
In several games.
Here's the way I will answer that. Officiating is bad because they will not blow their whistle. Now, you're going to refer to all the whistles that were blown. My biggest gripe is, and the NCAA makes a big deal about, we go back and study officials, and they get 93% of the calls correct. But what they don't include are the non-calls. I mean, we have no free. Again, the coaches are right every year. In November and December, they keep teaching fouling. They keep teaching physicality because they know by the time February, March rolls around, there's no such thing as freedom of movement. So I've been on this. I think I'm the only one on this warpath for quite some time now. Our game is not going to get cleaner until we call more fouls. Every night, every game. And the one that's the worst is the direct path. A guy with the ball is on a path, a line of driving either to the basket or to get in the paint, and the guy just mugs him with his body, his forearm, and knocks him off that path. That's supposed to be a foul. Protect the guy with the ball. I got on my rant a little bit.
They always say, we're going to make him earn it. No, they're going to make him earn it. Well, where I was going with that, though.
Okay, Bordy, you have to really hurry here. I got a lot to do.
I know some really, really bad announcing, and it was because a lot of people, and this is some of the minor conferences, not yours, certainly. You're one of the best. But I was just wondering, because they've got a lot of C teams out there, and I didn't know if that applied to the officials also. And last question, I'll take it off the air. The goaltending, do you know, does that have to be, is the wording that it must be struck on the way up or that it can't be struck on the way down? I'll take it off the air.
Thank you.
The rule on goaltending is once the ball has reached the apex, and that's a big word for me, guy from Kentucky, once it's reached its apex, its highest point, you no longer can touch it.
Take a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up Hoop There It Is today. Appreciate all the Facebook Lives and all that. We'll get to as many as we can before we have to say goodbye for the day. You're listening to WRUF.
Ever dreamed of catching a touchdown pass from Tim Tebow or Danny Werfel, or taking a handoff from the legendary Steve Spurrier? Then you need to join the Florida Legends Experience on Monday, March 30th at the Alachua County at Celebration Point. You'll receive a personal video of your touchdown and a football signed by the Gator Legends. Enjoy an unforgettable day of Gator greatness while supporting the incredible mission of Isaiah 117 House. Tickets are limited. Get yours now at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com. Don't miss your chance to be a part of Gator history.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
It's no fun being injured. The last thing you want to deal with is long wait times or high costs. Well, guess what? You don't have to thanks to Titan MRI and Imaging. The experience at Titan MRI and Imaging is much more personal than a sterile atmosphere of a hospital. Joe and his team are personally involved and will guide you through the entire process at any of their 3 convenient locations. And they accept insurance. So if you need a scan, save time and money and call Titan MRI and Imaging. Learn more at TitanMRI.com.
Sure, seasons change, and that's more than the pollen on your car and everything else right now. Seasons in your life change too. And for over 90 years of seasons, Campus USA Credit Union has been here for you. As your life and financial needs change, Campus USA Credit Union can help. Checking and savings accounts, low-interest credit cards, personal loans or home equity loans, business loans, auto loans, and investments. Campus USA Credit Union. There's a location or ATM near you. CampusCU.com. Member NCUA.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
March is here. It's time to go big with a new 4K TV or projector from Electronics World, so you can catch every slam dunk, three-pointer, and buzzer beater. Electronics World has the best names in the business: LG, Samsung, and Sony, with Ultra HD TVs up to 100 inches. Or let the pros at EW design a system with a 4K projector and custom-installed screen. Add a surround sound system so you can feel like you're at mid-court. Visit Electronics World in Gainesville today or online at electronicsworld.net.
Gonzaga has time to do something. Sox for the win. Oh, yes. Unbelievable.
Coverage of round 1 of the NCAA tournament begins Thursday at noon on WRUF.
Meldon Law, with 55 years of experience, the only accident and injury law firm partner of the Florida Gators. Meldon Law won't back down. By the way, can I just say real quickly, that music gets me every time. That da-da-da-da-da-da. When you hear that, it's like goosebumps. It's Luther Vandross. It's
because it's
here.
Time.
Yeah, it's here.
Let's do the Gators' next opponent. Brought to you by Miapa Latin Cafe. Miapa proud to sponsor Gator Athletics. At all Gator baseball home games, when the Gators win, you win a free cup of Cuban coffee from any Miapa location. Just show your ticket. Go Gators and go Miapa. Gators' next opponent.
Well, again, we're talking about Lehigh and Prairie View. I don't think either team will be that much of a problem for Florida. Clemson and Iowa, it'll be a tug-of-war on tempo. Florida will want to play the game in the 80s and 90s. Iowa and Clemson will want to play the game in the low 70s.
RJ, what was Golden complaining about to the refs so much, even got a technical after a Vandy 3? The game left me very pessimistic about our chances. Think Vandy would beat us 3 out of 4. You know the good part about that is?
Yeah.
All you got to do is beat them once.
Yeah, that's right. And the other thing is everybody's and I can be guilty of this too. Everybody's going, well, Vandy might be a problem. Vandy may not be there. That's the beauty. I remember where was the game out west when the year Florida went and Harold the Show Arsenault for Weber State beat North Carolina because everybody was worried, could Florida get past North Carolina? Well, they didn't play North Carolina.
Yeah. There's a name from the...
Harold the Show Arsenault.
Yeah.
Beat North Carolina by himself, and then against Florida, they just waxed them.
YouTube questions, courtesy of Ruzogre State Farm. Why would the committee put number 10 seed Missouri in St. Louis? Seeing they should protect the better seeds.
Yeah, that's a great point. It comes back to bracketing, and they're not putting them there. I wish it would take a very long time to explain how the seeding is done line by line. And then you start putting them into brackets, and it's a very systematic approach that the committee follows. And so I'm just telling you, they didn't place Missouri there. It just so happened Missouri ended up there. Now, do I think at the end of the day, can they take a look? Here's what you would easily say. Well, just swap them out with another 10. But when you do that, then you might break other bracketing principles. Now you might have two SEC teams playing each other in the second round, which they are not supposed to do. So it's more complicated than that.
And then, Jeff, are there any coaching mismatches against Todd Golden in the South region?
I don't even know what that means. I mean, Brad Underwood is as good as it gets. Kelvin Sampson is as good as it gets. Mark Byington, Todd Golden. I mean, I don't even know what that means.
Okay. Byron, you got 2 minutes. Go.
Steve, forgive me. I'm just tuning in late. But Coach Wise, in my time of playing, some venues I couldn't shoot in a lick for lighting or just a difference. And I'm hoping you can tell me that might have happened to Florida. But I'm going to hang up and listen. But go ahead.
I'm joking when I said that earlier. Blame it on the lighting in Bridgestone. I mean, yes, that can happen. I mean, and if a team gets, Florida didn't shoot the ball well against Kentucky either. And if that gets in your head for the next game, that's a reach, but it is something that's real.
Yes, I know. I remember the first time I shot a free throw with no background, used to the wall back there. I missed the whole goal. So, well, hopefully that's an excuse, and hopefully we'll have some home cooking in Tampa. Go Gators. Thanks, guys.
All right, Brian,
Steve, did you have any trouble shooting in a?
I had trouble shooting in the pool, with the little basket in the pool.
Bright lights?
Yeah, with the sun. Yeah, I had a little trouble.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, I had a little trouble there too. Okay, our last minute or so here, Mark. We're here now. One of the best times of the year. I just hope Gator fans can understand that they are capable of winning the whole dadgum thing.
Yeah, and they may not.
Right.
And so that's a reality that they live in. I do want to say this. I don't think there's another sporting event. Now, I'm obviously prejudiced, but I don't think there's another sporting event that captures America over a 3-week period like the NCAA. And here's the good news. It's just getting started.
Yep, that's true. And then let's see, Mike, real quick. Do you think it'd be a good idea for Coach Golden to chill a bit with the officials?
I could say that about 90% of the coaches in college. Our officials are partly to blame in the direction they want good communication with coaches. I don't understand that. You need much less communication with coaches.
I 100% agree with that. Why do you have to have good communication with the coaches?
The dumbest thing we have done, and this is a technicality, but when you are the official who makes a foul and you go to the official scores table, used to be you walked away from the benches. Now they want you to walk toward the benches so that you can have good communication with the coach. That is stupid.
I'm with you. It is.
How about that for ending on a downer? Let me go back. The madness is starting.
Okay. Period. That's our Hoop There It Is for today. We thank you for listening, consuming it however you did. Sports Scene's coming up next. For Mark Wise, I'm Steve Russell. You're listening to WRUF.
Stand my ground, won't be turned around, and I'll keep this world from dragging me down.
Craving real Cuban flavor? Come to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings you home. From our juicy roast chicken with yellow rice and black beans, our breakfast options to sweet plantains, empanadas, and our iconic Cuban cafecito, we've got what your taste buds are waiting for. And with 6 locations, there's sure to be one near you serving up warm hospitality and authentic breakfast, lunch, or dinner vibes whenever hunger strikes. So head over to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami. Visit Mi Apa Latin Cafe